deleted are disclosed through internal ethical process. So we disclose full version of our investigational report on condition of anonymity. And our homepage has other functions as well. There is a manual of compiling the investigational report on our website. And our website has keyword searching tool over all the report. So you can input keyword here, and then you can find the reports of your interest quickly. So now the subject of investigation is over. Now I switch the topic to prevention. The aim, prevent the recurrence of future cerebral palsy. And we'd like to improve quality of obstetric care and also enhance public confidence in obstetric care. So what we do is, number one, we investigational reports put on collective and epidemiological analysis, and study results is published in various forms. For instance, annual publication of a report on prevention and ad hoc publication of alerting materials occasionally. And they are widely open to the public on our website. So what you see here is the compiling and the distributing prevention report to exhibit the impact on quality of care in Japanese obstetric care. And we investigate individual cases, and we craft investigational report of the case. It includes cause appraisal, preventive measures, and we deliver it both to family and childbirth facilities. And summarized report is posted on the web. And the report with identifiers deleted is available only for research use through internal ethical process. And the report aggregates, now more than 1,000 report aggregates in JQ. And then we put all of them on collective analysis. And we withdraw lessons from those aggregation, and then we compile a report for prevention. It contains quantitative epidemiological analysis, thematic analysis, recommendation of preventive measures, etc. And we deliver a prevention report to childbirth facility, scientific society, which is very cooperative with, to us, and the government as well. And we posted the report on our website to be open to the public. This is a report on prevention. It is available on our website, but it is only Japanese, But we are planning to translate it into English in the near future. So I'm sorry, this is very messy. And our prevention report contains two types of analysis. The first one is epidemiological and quantitative analysis. It includes basic data of individual case, such as current physical status, past history of pregnancy, or history of current pregnancy, progress and procedures of delivery and neonatal care, and the institutional resources for childbirth. Those are collectively analyzed. And the second, qualitative and thematic analysis. Specific theme which deserves in-depth research is focused and analyzed. I will show you I will show you some examples later in my talk. This is a table of contents of our annual report. What comes first is epidemiological analysis, and qualitative and thematic analysis follows. Okay, what you see here is the list of thematic analysis. For instance, we took up fetal heart rate monitoring during delivery, neonatal resuscitation, or administration of uterine contraction agent. In Japanese society, there was a big problem that obstetricians administer too much amount of uterine contraction agent. And most of them are really successful and safe, but others are not. And most of others went to court. and the management of umbilical prolapse, vacuum-assisted delivery, and so on. And this is a pages, structure of pages of thematic analysis. What comes first is preface and the overview of the theme follows, and then collective analysis of aggregated reports comes in the third. Collective analysis is applied to cause of CP, procedural review, and suggestions and recommendations. And what comes in the last is suggestion and recommendation, which is created from the aggregation of 1,000 cases. This is the, one of the sample of collective analysis, which is causes of CP approved in the system. The most common cause is placental abruption, followed by factors related to umbilical cord, and followed by multiple causes. These causes, we can imagine these causes, and a Japanese obstetrician says this is the same as they imagined before, but what is the difference is the population of the CP for collective analysis. We have approving 300 to 400 cases a year, and we have all the data of those cases. But even in very excellent research hospital in Japan, it cannot collect such a big population of cerebral palsy cases. So thanks to the launch of the system, we were able to research on the cause of the cerebral palsy for the first time in Japan. That's the difference. And what are our challenges in procedural review of investigational report? Some investigational report points out challenges or problem in individual cases. So we put those data on our collective analysis. This is a sample. So case A, the report says, regarding laboratory test, whole day urine protein is recommended, however, it was not conducted in case A. Only improvised urine test was conducted. It is uncommon clinical management of PIH. Maybe this is one of the challenges Japanese obstetrician faces. And then in case B, fetal well-being was not examined by non-stress test ECC against a high-risk case such as PIH, fetal growth retardation, FGR, etc. It is uncommon clinical management. These challenges are pointed out in those investigational reports. This is just a sample. And what are suggested or recommended for quality and safety improvement in the future? For regarding laboratory test, quantitative assay of whole day urine protein is recommended, like it was pointed out in case A. And regarding management of pregnancy, it should be considered that fetal heart rate is monitored in continuous fashion, monitored all the time. For PIH, this is the hypertension disorder after the onset of labor, as pointed out in case B. And in addition to the compilation of report, we also publish leaflet like this. This is an educative statement published by our committee. Specifically, this is the educative statement on neonatal resuscitation standard. Evidence-based procedure of neonatal resuscitation developed by the scientific society is should be swiftly introduced to community of obstetricians and midwives. This is what it said in that leaflet. And I'm going to speak about the scientific aspect of our compensation system. We also published educational materials on CTG. It has English version. It is available for free all the time. This is an educational material on cardiotocograms for cerebral palsy cases. we have never had such a textbook in Japan because the university hospitals or other research hospital cannot collect such a huge number of CP cases. But owing to this system, it is possible now. So if you take a look at the inside of the report, this case is in this case, a baby is delivered by cesarean section because he or she developed continued deceleration 38 minutes before birth. But 1 hour and 1 minute before birth, we observed prolonged deceleration, which indicates that the baby was in very serious conditions. But 17 minutes before that, we still see very slight, very small late deceleration, which indicates very risky state. It meets our criteria. It meets the criteria developed by Scientific Society of Obstetricians. So this page says that these slight changes should not be overlooked. So now we have published, I told you that we have published more than 1,000 investigational reports. And how did childbirth facility or guardians respond to our investigational report? We conducted a survey on that. So this is the answer from childbirth facility. And most of them are fond of our investigational report. And why they were fond of, they liked our investigational report. The reason is that, the most common reason is that investigation was done by a third body, which is JQ. So we interpret this in a way that the Japanese obstetricians likes or respect to the neutrality in investigation. This is the answer from guardians. Most of them are fond of our report, but some of them are not. Some of them answered not very good. But why they are fond of our report? The answer is that investigation was done by a third body. It's the same as obstetricians answered. And why guardians are not fond of, why guardians do not like our investigational report? The most common reason is that cause of CP was not eventually identified. So we know that the guardians want to know what happened and why our child developed cerebral palsy. But I have to admit that 30% of cases are very unclear in terms of cause of CP. That's the limitation of our science. So I have to I have to repeat that on 30% of cases is unclear to guardians on the phone. So let's look at our system from legal point of view. This is a famous report published by the Supreme Court of Japan. And the report touched on our compensation system here. And it says that it is significant that the Japanese compensation system has brought investigational system by third body and equally distributing system of financial burden for monetary compensation in Japanese society, and sharing the idea that perinatal care inherently holds potential risk. It is noteworthy of whether the system expands to cover other medical specialties, surgery or ophthalmology or orthopedics or other areas. The system, having completed significant number of CP cases, supposedly has affected to a certain extent statistics of lawsuit cases of medicine. I'm going to show you statistics of lawsuit cases of medicine later in my talk. So the question is, does the investigational report ignite lawsuit against the childbirth facility or not. So the current, I'm going to show you the current status of damage claims and the lawsuit among approved cases. I told you that we approved 1,800 cases, and among them, 83 cases, 4.4% claimed damage, claimed give me money to medical institutions. And among the 83 cases above, 38 cases, 2% filed lawsuit case, and 45 cases, 2.4% preferred settlement out of court. And I told you that we published 1,200 investigational reports. Among them, 29 cases, 2.4% claimed damage after reports were delivered, and only 11 cases, 0.9%, filed a lawsuit, and other 1.5% preferred settlement out of court. So in summary, let's say 1,866 eligible cases corresponding to 100%. 4.4% claimed damage, money, and then 2% filed the lawsuit, and 2.5% was settled out of court. Then let's say we published 1,224 reports. Let's say this corresponds to 100%. 2.4% claimed damage, and 0.9% filed lawsuit, and the other 1.5% settled out of court. And what happened to the trend of lawsuit cases? This line corresponds to the lawsuit cases of OBGY, and the bar, each bar corresponds to the lawsuit cases of entire medical specialties. So compared to entire medical specialties, lawsuit cases of OBGY dramatically drops very quickly. So the report published by Japanese Supreme Court touched on our system and said that our system may have some effect on the rapid decline of the lawsuit cases of OBGY. And this is the figure, number of obstetricians in Japan. The blue line on the top corresponds to the total number of obstetricians. And the orange line corresponds to the number of obstetricians in childbirth facilities. And the last one is a senior resident after 3 years of experience. You should ignore the first figure because our system was restored on this year. So looking at this trend, it's not evident, but looking at closely at this trend, our system was launched this year. So it seems to me that the figure is growing a little bit. So we are now trying to enhance publicity of our reporting, of our compensation system and its achievement. So last year, we held the annual meeting of ISQA, International Society for Quality in Healthcare, in Tokyo, and we had a session on obstetric compensation system. And I worked as a modulator of the system, and he is Dr. Okai, and he is Dr. Ikenoue, who is the current president of Miyazaki University. It's very close to my university hospital. And the title of our session is No Fault-Based Compensation Peer Review System for Quality Safety Improvement and Conflict Resolution. So many my Thai colleagues participated in this session, as Dr. Spachai told you previously. So the conclusion, the Japan Compensation System for Cerebral Palsy of quasi-public nature was launched in January 2009. It is a breakthrough system, as it is the first compensation system on no-fault basis in healthcare in Japan. More than 1,000 investigational reports and 6 annual reports on prevention have been crafted so far. Lawsuit cases of OBGY has been on declining trend since the launch. The expansion of the system is very difficult. May be beneficial, however, there are apparently a lot of challenges, such as finance. Yes, that's all I have today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chin. If you allow us, we will put all your slides into our website.
Sure.
Sure. And those of you interested in that can make further study. I just mentioned to you that Dr. Chin just arrived last night, and today he delivered to talk, and is going to fly back this evening. Bless him.
Only one night.
Okay, Dr. Prisek, the floor is for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was requested by Dr. Supachai to open the discussion for this very interesting and very relevant to our situation. I would like to inform you that the situation in Thailand is quite similar to what Japan has faced, including that we have increasing medical lawsuit. We have increasing complaint to the Thai Medical Council. And during the past 5 years, the number of doctors who want to be trained in obstetric and gynecology decreased. But later on, it is coming back. 5 years ago, we have about 120 seats for OBGYN training, and not all seats were occupied. But during the past 2 years, we have more application than the seats that were available. So maybe we are getting better. And we also face about the population problem. We used to have 1.2 million births a year. That was about 10 years ago. But now, last year, we had only 7,300,000 births, almost half of the maximum that we had before. And perhaps you have heard a few months back that Thai government is now promoting our women to become pregnant and to give birth for Thailand ตั้งครรภ์และคลอดเพื่อชาติ But we need quality pregnancy and quality